These people shaved every hair on their bodies, pulled out all their teeth, and even removed any residual food from their stomachs. Then the staff pushed them into a huge heating chamber. After an hour, the timer went off, and the staff opened the chamber door. In this way, the people completed the entire process of body shrinking while unconscious. The reason for doing this was to solve the problem of overpopulation on Earth. It was a cell shrinking technology invented by a scientist that could reduce a normal-sized person to just 5 inches tall. The man and his wife were among the first 36 volunteers to use this technology. For years passed, and there were no adverse reactions. The shrunken people not only ate less food but also needed much smaller living spaces. In fact, in 4 years, the non-degradable waste they produced was only one medium-sized garbage bag. But that was not all the benefits. $1 for the shrunken people was equivalent to $1,000 in real-time value. However, problems also emerged. The productivity contributed by this group of shrunken people was negligible, and they had almost no purchasing power. They needed only 1/1000th of the resources that normal-sized people needed. With the increasing number of shrunken people, the economy inevitably went into recession. The man was a typical underdog. Although he was a physical therapist and not at the very bottom of society, his salary had very limited purchasing power. He was still paying off his student loans and lived in the house he inherited from his mother. His wife had always longed to move to a new house, but every time they did the math, they felt powerless. At a class reunion, everyone else was either rich or from a noble family. The feeling of not being in the same circle and not being able to fit in made the man feel so helpless. As he was staring blankly at a poster about the shrinkers on the wall, one of his shrinker classmates made a stunning entrance. The classmate and his wife looked radiant and happily talked about their experiences after shrinking. The man thought his classmate's shrinking was a contribution to the earth and all of humanity. He asked privately about the insights after shrinking, but the classmate said that all that talk about contributing was nonsense. Shrinking was purely a form of self-rescue because it was the best way to relieve financial pressure. On his classmate's recommendation, the man and his wife visited the shrinker community. It was crowded and bustling, with hosts even promoting their luxurious homes, which had everything, including all kinds of leisure and entertainment facilities. The host's wife was leisurely soaking in the bathtub, adorned with jewelry, which made the man's wife very envious. So they decided to undergo the surgery because they learned that their assets would soar to $100 million after shrinking. However, before the surgery, they had to shave all their body hair and pull out their teeth because teeth couldn't be shrunk. After shrinking, the nurse carefully lifted their bodies and took them to the micro world. When the man woke up, he quickly threw off the blanket and relaxed only after seeing that everything was fine. At that moment, his wife called, and it turned out that she had backed out at the last minute.